Good morning, Cougs. You are listening to Slice of Seattle on KUGR Cougar College Radio. We are back up in the booth with Levi, Coovert, and Matti, Tenney. How are we doing today, boys?
Hey, guys.
I'm doing awesome.
We got one mic, so we're making it work.
Yeah, it might be a little bit confusing when it might have a bit of a hesitation before one of us talks, and that's because both Matti and Levi are kind of passing mic number 2 back and forth. We came into the studio today and we did not have mic number 3, unfortunately, which kind of sucks. So we're making do with what we got. So hopefully it all works out. It's a bit of a cloudy day on the Palouse today. It is game day, so Cougs are playing at 7 p.m. today against LA Tech. Which, to be honest with you, to kind of show my lack of ball knowledge, I did not realize that LA Tech was Louisiana Tech for the longest time. And then, last week, I realized it was Louisiana Tech and not LA Tech. And so I was just to be perfectly honest with you, I'd never heard of the school LA Tech before. So you guys are giving me funny looks, and
Wait.
I know.
You know the clip, right? The LA Tech clip?
I'm not sure.
The phone that just keeps getting kicked back and back and back against Mrs. Is that against LA Tech?
I don't know.
Do
You know this clip I'm talking about, right?
No,
I
that's the
actually
thing.
The college football clip where there's the fumble and it keeps getting kicked back farther and farther back, and then it's 4th and 45.
I think so.
Yeah,
Yes,
I may
that
have
was
seen
LA
that.
It's a
Tech.
very famous
Really?
clip. I would be so shocked if you guys. I think that's at Louisiana Tech.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Anyway.
But no, it's just confusing because it's LA, so my head immediately went to LA. But then I thought about, but there's so many different colleges in California where it's okay, maybe Louisiana Tech makes more sense. But still, how are we feeling about that matchup? Cougs playing against Louisiana Tech today.
Well, we should feel good about it.
Hopefully, you think.
We should.
Yeah,
We can win this game.
Truthfully, after seeing the Oregon State game, I don't think I can feel good about any Cougar game going forward.
Dude, that game was absolutely brutal. The Cougs, the thing that bugs me about them is we'll hold Ole Miss, we'll only lose to them by 3. But then for some reason we can only put up 7 against they were 1-7 going into that game? 1-7 going into that game. And we only put up a touchdown against them. And Jack Stevens missed 2 field goals.
And then they rushed the field against us.
Which is,
It makes no sense.
it makes no sense.
Why are we rushing the field?
It was a toilet bowl.
It was their first FBS win of the season. Congrats. Yeah, their one win of the season was an FCS school.
Well, it's a rivalry, I think. So that's
Is
part
it
of
though?
what they clearly see it as. Oregon State, they think that we are their rival, and I think they clearly take us more. They played harder against us than they did against any other team. I think that says something.
That is true. And unfortunately, I think on paper we were the better team, and we play up and down to our opponents, which bugs the hell out of me. Yeah. Because if you can beat the bad teams and barely lose to the good teams, I'm a happy man. But if you are if you're barely losing to the good teams and also barely losing to the bad teams,
And I hate to say it, but
New coaching staff, same problem as last year.
yeah, it's absolutely brutal. The other thing I want to talk about too is when I was in the newsroom on Wednesday, I was kind of panicking about this because athletic director Ann McCoy got fired for the Cougs, which was, I don't know about you, it was just on a random Wednesday. I was like, why are we dropping this news right now? This is absolutely insane. So what are your guys' reactions to that?
Well, I was tracking the story from the beginning.
Mm-hmm. You were my inside source on this.
yeah, this guy, he knows.
I was on top of this one. So I got the news alongside everybody else when it broke on ESPN.
Yes.
And I pretty much immediately got to work trying to figure out as much as I could. And so I reached out to a lot of different people throughout WSU in athletics. Just, I'm not naming names, but I'm connected.
Yep. He's got sources. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, what I've been able to figure out is one, some athletic staff were told beforehand, but largely it was kept under wraps.
Yes.
Honestly, the fact that they waited until the day of to leak it, that was pretty impressive. I was surprised that we hadn't heard anything about it beforehand, especially such a big move like that. I personally don't think this was a firing based off cause or anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't think Ann McCoy did anything wrong to get fired. I don't think that she... Well, I mean, I know that some Cougs aren't a huge fan of her on the spending side of
Nobody
things.
always is, yeah.
Which is fine, but if you listen to Ann McCoy talk, ever since she got the AD job, she's been here since 2001. Mm-hmm. She's a Coug through and through.
Yes. Her daughter went to Wazoo as well. She was a
Exactly.
swimmer, I'm pretty sure, on the... Yeah. Yeah.
She bleeds crimson. I mean, everybody bleeds red, but like,
Yeah,
she's a Coug through and through. And so I think that for the downsides of the last couple of years, I feel like we do owe the year and a half, 2 years. I think we owe Anne McCoy a huge thank you.
Yeah.
For keeping us on the map in such a crazy time.
Weird time.
But I do think that this came down from Cantwell.
Yes.
Not in a bad way, but because something that she's been very clear on is that she wants fundraising. She wants we need to make money.
Yes, we
do. That's the bottom line, end all be all. Financially, we need to get something in order.
Yes.
I've heard some names thrown around from around the country. I don't know if I should say a name or not.
Potential replacements for Anne McCoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's hear, if you can say it.
Do you want me to say a name?
Let's hear it.
Let's hear it.
I'll say a name. Someone I'm hearing is Diana Sabo. She, I think she's what is her position? She's in the athletics department at Maryland.
Okay.
Worked with Cantwell at Utah State.
Okay. So there's that. There's the connection there.
So I've actually multiple people I've heard that name being thrown around. I think that there's a good possibility that it's her. In which I think that bringing in someone that you're familiar with that can do the job.
Yeah.
Is a great idea. I'm very eager to see who it is, if it is that person, and what they're able to do. But there was a lot of people who were blinded by this within athletics also, which kind of makes you think like, why was it such an abrupt announcement? I've heard completely unconfirmed. By the way, this is
Pure speculation.
Anonymous source. Have no way to. I have not vetted the person.
The rumor mill. Yeah.
100%. Completely take this with a grain of salt. Is that Anne McCoy was going to be retiring anyway?
I've heard
at
this.
the end of the season.
Yeah.
And that this was just they decided to do it earlier than later, especially after the Oregon State loss.
At that point, why not just let her go out?
That's the thing.
No, then that's why it's kind of like that's why because I texted right away. I was like, "What are we doing?" Like,
it's weird.
Why don't we wait till the end of the football season? Maybe it was because with basketball season starting, they didn't want to get too far into basketball season before because we still have to get all the way through bowl season and stuff.
Yes.
With football.
Yeah. What's bugged me is for this year in athletics at least, it's been a lot of just kind of weird decisions that have kind of bugged me. Kind of with like the one that I was, the walking back like a statement is like Jimmy Rogers after the Apple Cup.
Oh yeah,
he was
no,
like,
I was on.
You were familiar with this, where he's like, "Hey, we can't compete with a $30 million program," and then immediately had to walk that back in a tweet the next day. He's just like, I'm sorry.
He walked it back in the next press conference.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, the next press conference. And then of course this like move of like firing Anne McCoy halfway through the year, like what you said, it seemed like she was gonna retire at the end of the
Yeah, that's what the speculation is.
And then you're gonna fire her halfway through the year, which like that's usually something you see in like hockey. Hockey does that a lot with like at least their head coaches.
Now we're out of my depths.
Now you're out of your wheelhouse.
You said hockey, and now we're.
Well, no, but like in hockey, they're kind of notorious for keeping coaches.
Really?
I know it's the difference between like athletic director versus a coach, but like they keep coaches on short leashes. Like I remember the Oilers 2 years ago. They started the year like 2-10 or something like that, and were like dead last in the entire league. And they fired their head coach, and then that year they went to the Stanley Cup.
Oh wow!
And so hockey does that a lot. But I feel like it's not something you see in football or even just like for like an athletics director, like for all sports. I feel like you want to let her finish out the year. And then if you still didn't have results in football or basketball, baseball, etc., then you would want to like review firing her. But I think I 100% agree with you. I don't think it was necessarily performance based. It was definitely philosophy based. It was she's just not on par with Cantwell.
I don't think that they have the same long-term goals for the programs.
Yes.
Especially if it was true that McCoy was going to be retiring. Definitely had no long-term goals. So it could have been Cantwell kind of seeing that and being proactive and bringing in someone as soon as she can to try and spark the fundraising push, spark the NIL push, because that's going to be a huge, huge thing for us.
Well, and could it have been the timing of it? Could it have been because, obviously it seems early, but then I'm thinking like, well, the transfer portal's in January. So we're only 2 months away. So maybe we want to get a new AD and more NIL funds by January so that we can get those transfers in. I wonder if that's the reason for the timing of it.
Yeah, to happen right now where we're able to like get someone in. She can get somebody in who's a little bit more with her philosophy for when we hit that transfer portal.
I guess the big question is, when is it going to be announced who the new AD is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long are they going to take? You know, if
I think you have to announce in December,
yeah.
or else it doesn't make any.
Do you have the
Yes.
because do you have the name ready? Is it true that they already have the name ready? Like that's the big question is like how long is that going to take? Especially with basketball season getting kicked off, both women's and men's basketball.
Yes.
You know, the AD isn't just football.
Yeah, exactly.
It's everything.
Yeah. No, it would make sense to announce it in December, but
Will they?
Yeah, knowing Wazoo,
Does
they don't.
WSU do the thing that makes sense a lot of the time? Not really. We'll
probably
see.
Actually,
Yeah. The other thing I didn't mention that was like another bit of the chaos from this year is like we had Jackson Potter starting at the start of the year, and then we switched to Zevi.
Which, by the way, this is my first appearance since the first episode.
Yes.
I would just like to take my credit where credit is due. I told you so.
Yep. You are a big Zevi supporter. You're good friends with them.
Yeah.
Day one Zevi supporter. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I was sleeping on Zevi. I was thinking I got tricked. I got hoodwinked by Jackson Potter. Don't get me wrong.
Jackson's a great guy. I love Jackson
yes,
too.
Absolutely. And him and Zevi are good friends too. So it's like there is competition.
No,
for that
absolutely.
spot.
I have a great story. I was so we for the Hillel, the Jewish student organization on campus, we
Yes.
did a challah bake.
Yes.
And Zevi bought a loaf. And
Nice.
so I went over to his place to drop it off. And we're inside his house talking. We're at the island in his kitchen. And and the door just opens and I forget what we were saying, but we were in the middle of a conversation and just tall dude walks in and is
Yep.
like, "That's exactly what I was saying." And I look over and I was, because like I know Zevi's roommates.
Yep.
Jackson Potter's not one of them.
Yes.
So I was very confused when Jackson Potter just walked into Zevi's house.
Yes.
Which I was then like, "Oh, it's Jackson." Yeah, no, I forgot. Oh, yeah, like of course it's Jackson Potter. Of course he's here.
Yeah.
You know, why not?
Yeah.
So these guys are genuinely really good friends.
friends.
Like
Yeah.
there was never any bad blood between them ever.
No, absolutely not. Yeah.
But yes, no. I think that ultimately Zevi was the better option. You know,
Probably.
since he started, you know, obviously it hasn't been great. You know, he's had his flashes of brilliance.
Yes.
He's played really, really well. A lot of the times it's not him that's making the mistakes. Then you get to the interceptions. That's his
Yeah.
biggest detractor, is throwing
Yes.
those interceptions.
Yeah, that's kind of going into this LA Tech game. They have one of the better defenses. Like, I think their defense has scored quite a bit off of interceptions, which is where it's like this game worries me because I just know that knowing Zevi, he is again loves Zevi, great playmaker. He can throw the ball, he can run the ball. He is a turnover machine at times.
No, totally.
And with a defense like LA Tech, I'm kind of worried that if their defense is clicking,
Yeah.
I think they could possibly. I know that we're technically the odds are in the favor of the Cougs, like the betting odds. And I think for good reason. I think we probably are the better team. But I think if their defense is clicking, it might be like rough waters for the Cougs.
Yeah.
Another one of those slugfest type games.
Yeah, possibly.
Texas A&M just beat South Carolina. They just came back 28 points unanswered.
The Aggies, dude.
The
Interesting.
Aggies are for real. Sorry, that just happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I think that the Cougs definitely have the chance to win this game. This could be a Toledo, easily.
Yeah.
You know, a 28-point scoring fest.
Yeah.
It could be an Oregon State. That's the thing about this team is that it's just they're so up and down. If you look at the schedule and you look at our record, it's win-loss, win-loss, win-loss. You know, there's never like a streak of losing. It's just always this or that, and it just always switches over. And it's really annoying sometimes.
You can pull up to Martin on any given game day and flip a coin, and that'll be how it turns out, whether or not it's going to be.
Or the opposite. You never know. Even if you flip a coin, you don't know what's going to happen.
It's pure chaos ball, which I mean is kind of like the Cougars' brand of like in every sport. I feel like.
Yes, but why?
I know.
Well, in basketball,
the brand is starting to just become bad basketball.
Bad
Okay.
basketball.
Can we talk about this?
Yes.
Can we talk about the fall off of WSU basketball?
Dude.
Because this is
and
some-
women's.
Because
Yes.
this is something that women's, honestly, I don't know.
Mm.
Because Coach E, still here.
Yes.
Right.
Still been in the program.
Yep.
We lost a lot. We lost seniors.
Yep.
Tara was a huge loss.
Tara Wallach.
You know, we lost people to the transfer portal. Alice Dart went to Buffalo, I think.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I want to talk about this. Kyle Smith leaving was the singular downfall of WSU basketball. Because if Kyle Smith doesn't leave, Jalen Wells stays.
Yep.
Doesn't go to the NBA.
Mhm.
Miles Rice stays. Isaiah Watts stays.
Mm-hmm.
Oscar Clough stays.
Mm-hmm.
Isaac Jones, I think he was a grad transfer, so I think he would have gone anyway.
Yeah, I think so.
But that's 4 out of your 5 starters coming back, not to mention the guys on the bench that could have come back.
Yep.
Kamani Huinsu might have stayed. You know, like the fact that a NCAA tournament team, that WSU couldn't find a way to keep them together, is the single hand. Like, this is coming from conversations I've had with the players. This is conversations I've had with media. This is conversation I've had with just WSU insiders who are connected. That team wanted to come back.
Yeah.
And losing Kyle Smith was the single thing that took us down.
Yeah.
Yep. That's brutal.
We would have gone back to the tournament. Who knows where we would be this year?
Yeah.
You know,
And it's funny.
and now
because
Miles and Isaiah are back together at Maryland.
What did Kyle even do at Stanford, anyways? Like, maybe he'll build a good program there, but he already had built a program here, and it's just for a paycheck. At the end of the day, he leaves for a paycheck and a chance to build their program. But he had already built this
and
one.
he took recruits with him, guys like Evan Stinson, who is a Washington guy
Yeah.
from Washington, committed here, and we lost him to Stanford.
Yep.
No shade on the guys in the current team, but it's harder. It's a lot harder when you're having to rebuild every single year, and we
Yeah.
might not have had that if we kept the program.
We
in
won a
check.
March Madness game
Yeah,
2 years ago.
2 years ago,
Within the last decade.
and now we are. What I mean, I don't know. We lost to Davidson.
Yeah.
We lost to Idaho.
Dude, the Idaho one's that's the one that pisses me off because
The
there's-
Davidson one pisses me off.
They both.
I'm
It's
sorry.
tough.
and you lost to UW last night.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know if you guys saw on that, but they tried to pull a Toledo. They tried to go up into the stands and take their shirts off and do that. They got shut down like right away though.
Yeah, you can't really do that indoors.
Unfortunately.
It's really hard when your only returners are like your bench guys, like
Yeah.
And
Favres
Parker.
and
Yep.
and
Case
Case.
why not?
But those
Case
aren't
why not?
those aren't your start. I mean, Tomas. The one starter who came back
Masterson.
was Tomas.
Mm.
So it's tough. Like, you replace your entire starting lineup every year. How are you meant to do good? Like, I don't know. It's real. It's,
Yeah. It's brutal.
Honestly,
It's a lottery ticket.
You know what my take is? I think that college basketball is worse than college football
Oh, it might
with
be.
transferring.
Probably.
I think it's a bigger problem because
Yeah.
football, if you lose a guy in the transfer portal, at least you know you can get another guy in the transfer portal.
Yeah.
Basketball, you don't know who you're gonna get. I'm not saying that we have a team of bums. That's not what I'm saying. But like, you could lose your team and then just have a team of bums after that.
Yes.
That was not directed at WSU. That's just like it's not even unpredictability. It's just like
Chaos.
Well, and it's just tough because in football, if you lose 10 of your 22 starters, you still have 12 of the 22.
Yes.
And that's pretty realistic in football, to maybe lose half your starters. But you still have the other half. In basketball, we lost all 5 of our starters, and then the next year we lost 4 of the 5. So that's like 90%. You're losing 90% of your starters. That's really hard.
Yeah. You can see it right away. The damage it imposes is like immediate. For football, it might take a little bit. Yeah.
And at least if for football you lose half your starters, you still have half the team in place. Mm-hmm. The chemistry in basketball is so important. Like, that's why last year we started out okay, because we had the chemistry from the guys at Eastern.
I mean, why do you think that tournament team was so tight?
Right.
You know, you bring Jalen in from Sonoma State. You bring in Isaac from Idaho. You bring in Miles was already there. Isaiah, was that Isaiah's freshman year?
He was a freshman, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You bring in dude, we literally had the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Like, WSU basketball because since 2021 when I got here, WSU basketball has just been on a consistent rise.
Yeah.
You know, it started when I got here. I'm gonna throw some names at you guys. I don't even know if you'll know.
Yeah.
Do you guys know? What do you guys know about Ghost Roberts?
Oof. Nothing.
No.
Nope.
Michael Flowers.
Nope.
Afe Abugadi. F.A., sorry, not Afe. I don't know why I said Afe.
Yeah.
I'm actually friends with this guy. He plays for the Rio Grande Vipers. But
Ah.
WSU, those are the NIT teams.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, we made it to 2 consecutive NITs.
Yes.
And then the next year we made it to the tournament.
Yep.
We were on the rise.
Yes.
And then our coach goes to Stanford and we lose our entire program?
Yeah.
That's what happens.
That's
Tough with coaching.
Yeah. It's kind of the identity of Wazoo is you'll build something really good. That was football last year with John Mateer, Wayshawn Parker. We had these guys who was like, hey, might be able to build around these guys. And then they leave. We're just a farm system for other schools.
Okay. I blame Jake Dickert solely for that.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Jake Dickert the last 2 years, in 23 and 24 lost the locker room every year. And that's
100%.
what led to the downfall.
Yes.
Like, players didn't trust in him. Players didn't believe in him.
Yeah.
He literally had, and then he goes to Wake Forest and is spitting the same garbage gobbledygook of, sorry, I feel like BG now. Just talking with my arms. And now he's doing the same buzzword merchanting that he did here. And they're falling for it. And I'm just waiting for it to all come crashing down to say I told you so to all the Wake Forest fans.
Yeah.
Well, would John have stayed if Dickert stayed? Probably not, right?
No, he followed Ben.
Yeah, so maybe Dickert left because he knew he was losing John. No.
Dickert was going to jump at the first chance he got regardless. Dickert said that he was in it for the long haul. He never was. I'm sorry. That is just baloney.
Baloney.
I got to self-censor. I'm sorry. I got to remember. That is baloney. I don't know if you remember the year before last year, when we lost 6 straight.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you remember week 5 we were ranked number 14th in the country?
We were ranked,
And do you remember what they were saying about Jake Dickert?
No,
He's going to Michigan State. He's taking the Michigan State job.
Yeah.
And he would have, too. But we proceeded to lose 6 straight, beat Colorado, and then lost to UW, which you know.
That's why I was so excited not excited, but when we lost to Wyoming in the last game, I thought maybe because we lost to Wyoming, we'd get to keep him around, but no.
Jake Dickert was always going to leave the first chance that he got.
Yeah.
He was never in it for the long haul. He's a very good public speaker.
Yeah.
He's a very, very kind guy.
Yeah.
Snake, backstabber. When I say that he was literally going, people forget he was going to leave. If he hadn't lost 6 straight, he would have been at Michigan State the year before.
Yeah.
You know, he'd be having
the Oregon State coach.
yeah, exactly. He'd be having to deal with the fallout of the Mel Tucker stuff right now. You know, but he's at Wake Forest.
Yeah. The biggest complaint I've heard about Jake Dickert, and I kind of agree with it, is that he and the coach right before him, who I'm forgetting his name.
Nick Rolovich.
Yes, Rolovich. Both of them were kind of the only reason why we were somewhat decent and somewhat okay was because they were just kind of getting the leftovers and the carryover from Mike Leach. And, you know, and that was like, and once that kind of ran out of gas, you started to realize, like, these guys actually aren't as good.
When did Mike Leach stop coaching here, though? It was 2018, right?
Yeah, and then it was Rolovich for 2019-2020.
Did Rolovich get a full season?
You only have one.
He got fired in 2020.
He got fired 2021.
Because he wouldn't take the vaccine.
He got fired 2021.
Or something like that. And then it was Dickert. It was Dickert for what? 2022, 2023, 2024.
Yeah, and the second half of 2021.
Yeah. But I feel like that's the biggest complaint I've heard about.
Dickert had 2.5 years to build his program. I'm sorry. I think that's a... I don't think that you can say it. Nick Rolovich, easily you could say was a Mike Leach byproduct.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Renard Bell played 7 years of college football, but
Yeah,
Renard Bell was a Mike Leach recruit.
Yeah.
You know, that's not to take credit away from, you know, a lot of people really did like Nick Rolovich.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we lost a lot of transfers because he left.
Mm-hmm.
Which also opened the door for a lot of really good transfers.
To come in.
But,
Exactly.
I mean, Dickert, he was the one who brought in John. He's the one who brought in a lot of those guys. He brought in Kyle Williams, right? Those were him. So he did a fine job. He found talented players.
Yeah.
He just couldn't keep them around. He brought in
Yeah.
Cam Ward, right? Was Dickert?
yeah.
Yeah, Dickert brought in Cam Ward. He just couldn't keep him.
That's the problem, is being able to retain them. Which, I mean, it's hard to do, though, at Wazoo.
Worst.
Did you blame that on the coach or did you blame it on the budget?
I blame everything on the coach.
Really?
He's in control of everything. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You think if we
Treat your players better.
yeah
Mm-hmm.
He may have brought them in, but he's also the reason they left.
Mm-hmm.
yeah
You know, at the end of the day, cool, you got them here, but you couldn't get them to stay.
Yeah.
Cool, you got them here, but you lost the locker room, and you had the entire team not the entire team, I'm sorry. But you had the team turn on you enough that you lose 6 games in a row.
Yeah. It was bad.
Like,
But does Cam stay if Dickert treats him better for the same financial offer?
Cam stays if we play better.
You think so?
Yes.
He got so much money from Miami, though. I mean, I don't know. It's worth thinking about.
I think.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I don't think he would have been the number 1 overall pick if he hadn't gone to Miami. If
It
we
helps
could
out
have,
a
if
lot.
we could have matched the money, yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
he would have stayed.
Obviously,
Yeah.
we match.
I mean,
but that's the question.
That-
Can we ever match the money?
No.
Probably.
Probably not.
no, not unless we move our permanent sports campus to to Spokane.
Yeah.
If we build a football stadium in Spokane, maybe. You know,
If the Coup Collective starts making a little bit more money, get a little bit more NIL.
but they'll never move it out of Pullman.
They won't, unfortunately. That's the thing.
And
It's
so
hard.
It's just kind of stuck in limbo.
I do agree in part with Jimmy Rogers, where it's like it is hard to compete with teams that have a bigger budget than you. But
Completely, but you knew that coming into the job.
yes, yeah,
All of us know that.
yeah,
Welcome to Pullman, buddy.
Precisely.
We're well aware.
yes.
What are you going to do about it?
They have college towns though that do really well in the South. But up here, it's like if you're not in a big city. But look at Eugene. Eugene's a college town.
Eugene's a big city too.
That
But
is
it's
true.
not. I mean, it's not Spokane.
I mean, how many people live in Spokane?
200,000?
Yeah, Eugene's 180,000.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'm wrong there.
Eugene's 180,000 people. It's a pretty big town.
Yeah,
Plus we have Nike.
that helps out too.
Over the West Coast, it's like, you need to be in the big city with the big money.
If Nike was founded in Pullman, we'd be doing just fine.
Yeah,
Well, you gotta wait till 't someday if I ever break it into the country music scene.
The Levi Coovert annual scholarship.
I'll start supplying.
yeah.
No.
Be a rich alum.
Yeah.
Give back to Wazoo.
Well, that's what we need. We need more rich alums. I mean,
Yeah.
unfortunately, all the rich alumni are going to UW. So
Unfortunately, yeah, which kind of sucks and just feeds that beast. But yeah, no, Cougs are playing against LA Tech today, 7 o'clock.
Football.
Yeah, that was what this started about, and then we got into NIL. This is why I love having you guys up here because we get the goated content, the great stuff.
Absolutely.
No, hey, let's move in. Let's talk about the Mariners. I know it's only been like a few weeks. I'm already missing baseball like bad. I'm going through withdrawals. I'm really excited for Cougar baseball to start back up. Don't know how good we're gonna be this year, unfortunately.
first year.
Dude, we played Arkansas last year. We actually did pretty good against Arkansas at the start of last year. So. Who knows?
You guys don't remember it, but 2 years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, we started the season like 14-2 or something like that. Like
Yeah.
we were ranked really high. We beat Oregon State at Oregon State
way.
in their series. We beat them in a series 2-1,
Yeah.
and then we proceeded to lose like 20 straight.
Yeah. I have a feeling this year's going to be what it was like last year. Last year we went 0-8, 0-10, I think, to start the year.
At one point, we were like 3-15 last year.
Yeah.
And then we started picking it up.
Well, that's the
I
thing,
don't know
like,
why Max Hartman stays, but I love that guy.
I love it. I love to see that. He's been here for, this would be his fourth year.
Third year.
Third year's a Coug. And this is his last year. He'll be a senior, I'm pretty
Correct.
sure. So I love
He went
that.
through the draft combine over the summer.
Yes. So, but I'm glad he's sticking around for a senior year
Yeah,
because
me too.
that's great. I think more guys should do that. They don't declare for the draft too early. Take an extra year, develop, and get better. Because baseball is the one sport where I think it's really
I'm
important.
so sorry.
You're all good.
My
Baseball is the one sport where it's really important to develop and to trust the process. In the NBA, I think it's the complete opposite. The NBA is where you get the guys who are like, oh, you're 18, fresh out of high school like that. Like, you don't even need to go to college. Like, just come straight to the league. Or it's like even they go through college, get drafted, and then they immediately start producing like the Cedric Cowards of the world. Where it's like, I mean, we should have talked about him as well, but he's doing great in the NBA.
Yes.
right now.
Okay. Wait. What are you saying about Cedric Howard? Sorry. What was the point you're making?
Well, no, he gets drafted out of college, then goes, and it has an immediate impact. Whereas in baseball, it's less like that. In baseball,
Okay,
you'll get
cool.
drafted out of college, and you have to work your
I
way
thought we were
up.
talking about one and dones. Like I was like Cedric Howard is not a one and done.
No,
Cedric Howard is my age and has been in school since I was in school.
exactly. No. But let's talk some Mariners baseball.
Yeah.
Because look, I know it's the off season, and not too many moves have been made. But the two main ones have been the Mariners did not pick up Mitch Garver's player option,
Oh, no.
and
What a bummer.
yeah. Oh no, it's so awful. Anyway,
It
and then
just hurts my heart to see him out of here.
exactly. And then Jorge Polanco did not pick up his player option, so he will become a free agent. And I believe the other agents the free agents this year for us are going to be Josh Naylor and Gino because they were rentals. We got them from Arizona. We were expecting to only necessarily have them for the second half of the season. And then I believe it's Caleb Ferguson and somebody else who I'm forgetting. Which I shouldn't even put Caleb Ferguson on here because I imagine we are not going to sign him because Caleb Ferguson was kind of awful. He did okay. I'm glad he was good to just add some left-handed depth to the bullpen because that's the one issue with the Mariners this year and the year before that was we had like no lefties, which bugged me because if you aren't able to like throw out a lefty every now and then you can't really shake up the other teams. Like it's just good to have those extra guys who. How you have the righties, maybe a lot of your starters are righties, but also to have some relievers who might be left-handed as well to kind of just shake things up a little bit. So I'm glad we brought him in for depth, but I don't think we should re-sign him because he's just arguably not that great. So the question is, with Josh Naylor and Gino being those free agents, I kind of get your guys' takes about who we want to re-sign for the Mariners to be able to compete next season.
Oh yeah, us the Mariners.
Yeah, I mean, definitely Josh Naylor. Got to bring in Josh Naylor, bring him back, pay him what he's worth. Other than that, I think I would like to see the team spend money on a DH.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there's really only one big name in the DH market, which is Schwarber.
Mm-hmm.
We probably can't afford him, but I would love it if we did, because imagine having him and Cal in the same lineup.
Dude.
Just defer his contract.
Yeah, just defer it. Yeah, the other guy, the other DH is I think Ozuna is a free agent, but I don't know how I feel about him. He had a kind of a bad year this year, so I would like to see him pay Schwarber, and pay Josh Naylor. And honestly, I think at that point it doesn't even matter what you do. You got Julio, Cal, Schwarber, Naylor in your lineup.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pay everyone.
Pay everyone, yes.
Yeah.
Bring back Ty France.
Dude.
I don't know about that.
Dude, that was so funny when we got to the World Series, and it was like, yes, just as I predicted, Ty France is competing for a World Series.
What are you talking about, Golden Glover Ty France?
Yeah.
Dude. Oh, yeah. Well, speaking about Gold Gloves and some end-of-season awards, the big elephant in the room.
I know. Patrick Bailey losing the Platinum Glove to Fernando Tatis Jr.?
Honestly, Bailey deserved it.
Absolutely he
He's
did.
the best defensive
He's
catcher
absolutely he's the
maybe
best
of all
defensive
time.
player right now.
Yeah. I saw his defensive run.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make it. I know exactly where you were going with that, Smith.
Well, that was perfect.
I know exactly where you're going with that, but I had
As
to.
a guy who I write for the Giants and the Padres fan-sided blogs,
Yeah.
and I would choose
Really?
Bailey. Yeah, I would choose Patrick Bailey.
Yeah, no. Fernando Tatis hasn't had a really productive year for 3 years.
Yeah.
No. I think he's...
Also, he's been caught doing steroids.
Yeah.
That's the other thing,
He is a
too.
good defender. I agree. Tatis is a great defender.
Yeah.
Bailey,
Have you seen Patrick Bailey throw a ball to
Patrick
second
Bailey
base?
is doing things as a catcher position that have never been done.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because he's maybe the worst offensive hitter in the league, and yet he's still putting up 3 WAR seasons.
No, I
It's
know.
crazy.
the thing is that Patrick Bailey is so insanely clutch.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what his batting average is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had the Giants had 2 walk-off inside the park home runs this
Is it
year.
both him?
No, the other one was Elliot Ramos.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
Patrick Bailey has had multiple walk-offs this
Yeah.
season. Casey Smith had multiple
Yeah.
But...
Anyway, yes. Smith.
Yes. The other elephant that's in the room, also
Golf
with a
queen.
catcher,
Golf queen.
a catcher who got snubbed for kind of 2 awards he definitely deserved, is also doing things historically that catcher's never done before, ever. Cal Raleigh loses the AL MVP to Aaron Judge. I'm personally fuming about this, and I know I probably just sound like a salty Mariners fan and just being like, "What?" I would 100% do, and I know because I will always give Aaron Judge his flowers because he is. I think people have talked about him closing on I believe Pujols as being the greatest right-handed hitter of all time. I think he is just the greatest right-handed hitter of all time.
Sure.
I think he already is.
Sure.
I don't think anyone will be as good as him. But statistically speaking, Cal Raleigh is the greatest switch hitter of all time. He has the most home runs by a switch hitter, most home runs by a catcher, most home runs by a Mariner. He almost had the most by the All-Star break. It was I think I believe it was Gary Hill Jr. on a call said that Cal Raleigh is a walking, talking history book, and it is 100% true. And I know that people bring it up all the time for the MVP. They go no one cares about historic seasons. It should just be stats. And if you were purely going off of stats, yes, Judge would get it. Because if you look at the F WAR and B WAR or batting average or slugging or
No, WRC plus.
yes, WRC plus, yeah.
215.
I know exactly what you guys are talking about.
No, yeah.
I think that it was a interesting situation where no matter what they did, they made the right choice and the wrong choice.
Yeah.
I think
Yep.
both of these guys deserved it.
Yes.
I'm going to be so honest.
Yep.
I just as much as I think Cal deserved it, Judge deserved it, and just as much as I think that Judge deserved to win, I think Cal equally deserved to win. It's a really interesting situation where in one league, when in the NL you have a unanimous MVP,
Oh, 100%.
and then the AL you have both guys that should have won.
Yep. And then there's Jose Ramirez up there for some reason, where it's just why is
Dude, Jose
I feel
Ramirez.
so bad because they were doing the broadcast and they literally says, "Here's your 3 finalists. Who will win, Cal or Judge?" And I'm like, Why do you even throw Jose's picture up there if you know he's not gonna get any votes?
It's literally the meme where it's like when you do nothing on the group project but still get an A. He's like, hey, again, don't get me wrong, J-Ram
He's
is
a great
great.
player.
He's a great player. He had a good year.
Crazy hook.
Crazy hook. Down
goes Anderson. Down goes Anderson.
But still, there was no competing with Cal or Judge.
No.
And here's the thing. For anybody who's going to sit here and say this was East Coast bias,
It wasn't.
it was not.
No.
Because Cal got in, for a West Coast team who playing for Seattle,
Yeah.
got probably more coverage than I think anybody's ever gotten.
Oh, absolutely.
In the history of Seattle sports. Well, I mean, not Seattle sports, because the Seahawks did win the Super Bowl with the Legion of Boom. That got a lot of attention. But at least for the Mariners specifically, the most attention
That
anyone's
was a
ever
good
gotten.
year.
Since probably the last time the Mariner got this much attention on the national stage was 2001 Ichiro.
Ooh.
Or maybe 2004 Ichiro when he broke the hits record.
I think that
Felix didn't even get this kind of attention.
Yes.
I might be tripping, but when you guys broke the playoff streak, I feel like that got so much coverage.
It did.
It did,
but
but
there wasn't
Am
a
I tripping?
specific guy.
That's true.
Yes,
that's
that's
true.
the
Okay,
thing.
okay,
Julio,
okay.
but he was a rookie.
True.
You know?
Yes.
But this year it was like, okay, it's Cal.
Well, no, it was
It's
still
been
Cal.
it was, but like
Cal sent you guys to the
that is
playoffs.
true. But he was not. Cal wasn't the star that he
That's
is
true.
now.
That's
it was
true.
like it was kind of just like it was where they're like, hey, Seattle has this switch hitting catcher who just
Yeah.
broke their playoff drought.
Yeah.
Anyway, and they just
Anyway,
moved on. Yeah.
It was more about the team.
Well, that's when Dumper was coined.
That was
Yes.
Jared Kelnick.
Jared Kelnick. The greatest thing that Jared Kelnick has ever done for Major League Baseball is give
Big
Cal
dumper.
yeah.
Yeah.
I got to interview Jared Kelnick at the
Hey.
with Chappie when he took us over one of the summers. Yeah, 2023.
Nice.
So I've heard that he's not very nice. Is that true?
He's kind of actually I have to. He's not a he.
I have sources who
waffling.
have told me insider sources who have
He,
said
I don't want to stand here and be like he's a terrible person because
No.
I had a 5-minute interaction with him.
I've heard
He
he
was,
kind of has an ego.
He's a diva.
Oh,
He's a diva.
absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
He, there wasn't much like conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It was more of a you're here to ask me a question.
Yeah.
That was the vibe that I got.
But
I got to meet Kelnick, Ichiro, and J-Rod in the span of 10 minutes.
Wow, that's really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, that was pretty sick.
The other two are pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah. Yeah.
don't
that's a
know
good
who the
lineup
last
right
guy
there.
was.
Yeah.
Really quick for the MVP.
Yes.
I'm gonna give my thoughts because I'm a Mariners guy, but I
Yes.
do think Judge should have won it, and here's why. If this was the NBA or the NFL, I would say give it to Cal.
Yes.
Because those leagues have established a precedent where if you're good enough, we'll give you one.
Yeah.
Even if you maybe weren't the best. Like, the NFL gave one to Josh Allen. I don't think he was the best player. I think Lamar and
Last
Saquon
year?
Barkley were both better. But they gave it to Josh because they're like, you know what? You're good. You deserve it. You haven't won one yet.
Yeah.
And the NBA is the same thing. Like, LeBron could have won 10 straight MVPs. But they gave it to other guys because they didn't want to give the same guy. In the baseball, they don't have that precedent.
Yeah.
In baseball, what they do is we give it to the best guy. And that's why it's like, you're going to give it to Ohtani 4 years in a row? That's okay. Like, he's the best. And the same has to be said for Judge. He is really good.
See, the problem, I personally don't like that. I don't like it when teams go back-to-back for championships. I don't like it when guys win back-to-back for MVP awards. Maybe besides the Golden Glove and the Silver Slugger, because those ones are less important to me. It's like a lot of people have Golden Glove. Dylan Moore had a Golden Glove.
Dylan
so
Moore had a
it's,
Golden Glove.
So that's the thing where it's just
My
like...
favorite player, Dylan Moore.
Yeah.
True story.
Yep. Mariners legend Dylan Moore. Who
I wish we had him.
Rest in peace. He's no longer on the team, which kind of sucks. But I think that it bugs me.
Re-sign Dylan Moore.
Re-sign
Give him
Dylan
however
Moore.
much he wants.
Were we talking about Golden Gloves?
Yes. How it basically, and they gave out Golden Gloves like candy.
Well, Patrick Bailey, back-to-back Golden Glove winner
Huh?
this year.
Julio, I think, got robbed of the Golden Glove.
Dude, his defense is amazing. And the fact that he didn't get it, the fact that Cal Raleigh didn't get it, he caught what, the most innings out of a catcher, had no pass balls, until the playoffs.
Crazy.
His,
kind of sold in the playoffs.
he honestly, his defense in the playoffs did kind of take a bit of a nosedive, but the hitting was still there.
Yeah, Cal Raleigh absolutely sucked in the playoffs this year.
Yeah, definitely didn't try and carry the Mariners all the way to the ALCS. It was
God forbid.
it bugs me that the playoffs also don't count
Okay.
for the MVP race, which kind of sucks. Because look, the way I look at it, again, most valuable player. How far are you taking your team? You put the team on your back. They didn't make it past the ALDS.
That's a good
the
argument
Yankees.
for that every league should do this. That
Well, by your argument, Judge definitely does it. Or
But you see,
neither Judge nor him deserve to get it then.
yeah,
Well,
If neither of the MVP, well, no, I'm going based off his logic.
yeah.
His logic of that it should be a full season award. Then you gotta talk about the guys who make the World Series.
Yeah,
if you have two MVP candidates and none of them are in the World Series, and it's a full season award including postseason.
Yeah.
But Vlad, over the course of the full season, wasn't as good.
But he made it to the World Series.
But-
That's why
Vlad
I don't believe
had
I don't believe that
Yeah.
Vlad was the MVP or that
Yes,
he deserved
yeah,
the MVP.
yeah.
I'm just going based off of Smith's
What I'm
logic.
saying, yeah, my logic.
That's
yeah.
why I'm glad that it's a regular season award because that's the best, most consistent thing. Because every team plays a full regular season.
Yeah.
Not every team plays in the postseason.
Yeah.
If you get to a point where, let's say it was like, okay, we have 3 really good candidates, Vlad, Judge, and Cal. There's an argument to say, like, let's wait and see what happens in the postseason.
Yeah, and then Vlad makes it to the World Series.
And you give it to Vlad. Exactly.
But Vlad wasn't the best. But
I'm saying if he had put up a similar season to Cal.
well, yeah. I mean, you could say that about any player, though.
Right.
That is
So that's
true.
where I'm like, I can see what he.
I get what you're saying, but I think that
Yeah.
the regular season is the best way to judge it.
The thing that I was listening to the Marine Lair podcast, and they talked about the episode that they dropped yesterday, and I agree with this. I don't think it's an East Coast bias thing. I think Cal got just as much attention, and even Aaron Judge got injured about halfway through the season, so he was out of the media cycle for quite a bit. So Cal actually technically had more overall coverage.
Yeah.
And then 2,
What a comeback by Aaron Judge! How about it?
I know, dude.
Well, those 10 games that he missed really.
Change the world.
Yeah, no, but the other part of it is I think giving him the AL MVP again, like you said, he deserves it.
Yeah.
But I think it's a waste of an award to give it to him this year because what'll happen is when people talk about 2025, they're going to talk about Cal Raleigh because they're going to talk about him being the all-time Mariners home run leader, switch hitting, home run leader, having the most home runs by a catcher, getting 60 home runs. So you're in the same conversation with Judge and Babe Ruth and Barry Bonds.
I guess the thing is that yes, Cal did that, but like Judge did it 3 years earlier.
So that's the thing. He also got the AL MVP in 2022, correct? When he got 62 home runs. 2022 is the season of Aaron Judge, right? 2025 is the season of Cal Raleigh. So I feel like it would have just made more sense to give him the AL MVP.
Politically, yes.
Because,
That's a good point because as a baseball fan, like I grew up like
27 Babe Ruth, 61 Maris. Those are the 2 like seasons that everybody knows because they're the ones the only guys who hit 60 home runs without steroids.
Yeah.
Alleged.
This guy's a Giants fan. So, but
No
I
bias,
knew like
no bias.
1961, 1927. And so I do think, you're right. Growing up, my kids are going to know the four players who hit 60 home runs without roids was Ruth, Roger Maris,
Yes.
Cal, and Judge.
yes.
So you make a good point there. It was like, my kids are going to grow up knowing about 2025 Cal Raleigh.
Yes.
The same way that I grew up learning about 1961 Roger Maris.
Yes.
Here's a question. Now that we're talking about Barry Bonds,
Ugh.
Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens are on the ballot again this year.
I would vote.
Do they make it in?
No.
Why not?
Because the Hall of Fame has set the precedent. We don't elect guys.
Big
who
Poppy's in the
are-
Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Did he
and
use
honestly,
steroids?
I don't think he
Absolutely.
Did you get busted
did.
for
He
it?
got busted for it.
Okay.
And that's one of those ones where I think they shouldn't have put him in, honestly, because not that he's not a Hall of Famer, but because.
What about the guys in the 70s who were playing on Cook? Is
and
that
I'm
not a performance enhancer?
I'm not saying Bonds doesn't deserve to be in
Depends.
the Hall of Fame, but I'm
Depends.
saying they won't vote him in.
I'm saying that it's stupid to point to precedent when they've broken the precedent. If you're gonna make that rule, cool, make that rule. But if you're not gonna follow it, I think it's ridiculous to hold that in.
I think they will get in. I think the Veterans Committee is going to get a lot of those guys in.
Okay.
Probably.
A-Rod's going to get in.
I'm sorry.
Unfortunately, A-Rod will get in.
They'll get in. And
I'm more mad about
that's what
A-Rod.
they deserve.
I mean,
But
I'm sorry. Barry Bonds single-handedly the greatest hitter we've seen, even without steroids.
that's a sad thing. He
Yes,
was a Hall of
yes.
Famer without roids.
Yes. Which is why I look at it like this, okay? He will always be remembered for, 76 home runs? Am I correct?
70. Is it
I
76?
think he was 74.
I thought
74.
it was 74.
70 home runs, right? You probably arguably, I think he is where Aaron Judge is the best right-handed hitter of all time, Barry Bonds is without a doubt the best left-handed hitter of all time.
Yeah, he invented the splash hit.
Yes, precisely. So you got that.
73.
Yeah. At the end of the day, don't get me wrong, love the Hall of Fame for every sport.
Sure.
But I think even with baseball specifically, the Hall of Fame is kind of like, not that no one cares about it, but there are a lot of people in the Hall of Fame who are like, you're a Hall of Famer?
Well,
that doesn't make any sense. So I think I would be fine with Barry Bonds not making it into the Hall of Fame because that's not gonna make me not remember him. That's not gonna be like, oh, it's like such a tarnish on his career that he never made it to the Hall of Fame. He had 74 home runs. He's the best left-handed hitter of all time.
But
He's
all
a
everybody
Giants
says
legend.
is that, but he's not a Hall of Famer. I disagree. Frankly, I disagree.
Personally,
It took them till this year to make it so that Joe Jackson and Pete Rose were eligible for the Hall of Fame after Pete Rose died. I think that they're going back on every precedent they've set.
Right.
Which
Yeah.
I guess kind of lends more to your point of that it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But
Now, did they do the Pete Rose thing for him or for the president?
They did it for the president. It was because he was good friends with Donald
Right,
Trump.
that's what I've heard.
Yes.
Not
That's
to get
part of
political
it.
in here.
No, but you're totally right. That's the thing, and that's the other reason why I think this is made.
you
it's a
think
hot-
you think the Pro Baseball Hall of Fame has been corrupted?
I think it's a joke. I mean, that's a little extreme,
valid.
but like I
Okay.
do think
Well,
the
I
Hall
don't
of
know if
Fame
it's valid.
is at times a joke because who votes for them to get in? Is it the writers
Writers.
as well? Yeah. So and Ichiro
By
missed
the way,
getting
Kurt
unanimous
Schilling,
votes.
he should have been in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
I don't like his politics, but he should have been in the Hall of Fame. He was a Hall of Famer.
yeah. There are players who should deserve to be into the Hall of Fame, and there are players who weirdly sneak in. Who you're just like Dylan Moore could potentially be a Hall of Famer.
Oh, righty,
Like,
old
when you think
righty
about
Lewis
it.
from the St. Louis Tugboats is in
Yes,
there. Like,
some random guy could always sneak in. and
but
you're
that's
just
the
like,
beauty.
how?
But that's the beauty of baseball is that
Yes.
it's the most historic sport that we have.
Yes. Yeah.
It has the most history. It has the most rules. It has the most tradition, in my opinion. And people always ask me like, "Oh, Matti, you're sports media. You're a journalist.
Yeah.
What's your favorite sport?"
Baseball.
Jeez Louise, you can't ask me that.
Yeah.
Because, like, my favorite sport, football. But which sport has the best culture? Baseball. Honestly.
baseball.
Like, football is close second because you got NFL and you've got college football and you've
Yes.
got all
Yep.
of these variations of Canadian football and Australian football and, and yeah, it all goes back to rugby and soccer. So really thank you, Brits. But also, did you know that the Brits were the ones who coined the term soccer?
Really?
So wait, why are they
Yeah.
so mad at us about that?
Exactly. It was so in England there were two types of football.
Yeah.
There was rugby football
Yes.
and there was association football. That's what SOC stands for. It's short for the SOC and association.
Yeah.
Makes no sense. But
Yeah.
they made the word. That's their word. We just went with it.
That's typical.
Now, why did we name a sport where you throw the ball football? Not sure, but but soccer is a British word.
That's nuts. That's crazy.
The more you know.
Yeah, precisely.
Bow, 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 bow.
Yeah. No, but going back to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and just be like and say if Cal doesn't make it into the Hall of Fame, I'm like, oh, that's totally fine. If he's no steroids, no gambling allegations, no misconduct, whatever, I would want him to be in the Hall of Fame.
I think he needs to put up a couple more.
yeah,
I think
but
he
what if he
needs
falls
more.
off?
I think he needs more seasons.
I
Because it's been if you think about it in the grand scheme of things, his rise. I'm not taking away from Cal Raleigh at all. I single-handedly believe he is a top 3 catcher. Him, Patrick Bailey, and I don't even know, but
The modern day Hall of Fame, since we introduced the stats, like
Well, I guess,
WAR, if you look at the Hall of Fame, every Hall of Famer, sort them by B-WAR,
yeah. Mhm.
Baseball Reference WAR.
Yep.
Everybody who has made it to the Hall of Fame since that stat was introduced has been over 50 B-WAR.
Yep.
And most of them are over 70. A lot of the exceptions are like the relief pitchers. There's a few relief pitchers.
Yeah.
So for Cal, he's at 20 right now. So he still has to do this. He has to basically triple what he's done.
well, that 2023 was when you guys made the playoffs, right? Was when you guys
2022.
22. Sorry,
Yeah.
22. So it's been a 3-year rise for him.
Yeah.
We've seen careers fizzle out.
Way quicker.
And we've seen careers fizzle out after 3 years. I'm not saying Cal's going to fizzle out. I'm just saying it's hard to sit here and say that Cal Raleigh is a bona fide Hall of Famer because we haven't seen
Yeah.
a full
And
career from him.
truthfully, If you said, Levi, you need to bet of all the guys in the Mariners who has the best chance of making the Hall of
Julio.
Fame, I'm betting on Julio,
Yeah.
not Cal.
Even with Cal, clearly this year was a better player, but long term, I think Julio has a better chance.
I do think Julio will probably be a Hall of Famer. I think he'll probably stay relatively consistent, and his career will probably be pretty long. And hopefully, he plays most of it or all of it with the Mariners. That'd be great. But I think Cal might have a better case, mainly because here's the thing. So
my thing is that it's too early to tell.
It is too early to tell. I'm going to totally jump the gun on this, but I think when you look at Cal Raleigh playing the hardest position, right? His ability to stay healthy. Last season, he had a really good year. I remember right when I was for the preseason for the Mariners, I remember writing a piece where I was talking about Cal had a really great year last year. Really stood was probably the best Mariner on everyone else on our roster. And then this year he just completely one-ups it and goes even better. Do I think he's going to have the same thing he did this year next year? He could. I don't think he will. I think he'll definitely be a step back, but I think he might. He'll still be as good as he is because his ability he takes care of his body. Mm-hmm. He doesn't get injured. Hopefully I don't jinx him. I'm gonna knock on wood here in a second to make sure that he doesn't get hurt next year. But but I think his ability to stay healthy. That's the other thing. That's the other reason why I think he should have also won an MVP because he played more games as well.
Yeah. But
then that also goes back to the Travis Hunter versus Ashton Genty thing where it's snaps aren't a stat.
Yeah.
Where it's sure he played more snaps, but who cares? Was he actually more valuable? He played more games. He didn't get hurt. Playing arguably a harder position that's more physical on your body.
Sure.
Also, I can dog on Aaron Judge's defense all day long, not catching certain fly balls in certain critical games and a certain championship series, or balls that go through his legs.
Do you want to talk about the Dodgers? We can talk about the Dodgers.
We can talk about the Dodgers. No, but I think he will be a Hall of Famer. I think it's a
Aaron
lock.
Judge is absolutely a Hall of Famer because he's you can talk about his slip ups in the World Series. You can talk. But for the last 8 years, he's been consistently a top performer, top hitter, in a top fielder, even with.
Yes, and I do think that at least in today's modern baseball, hitting definitely is viewed as more important than
that's
fielding.
what scores runs.
Precisely. That's the Moneyball approach, where it's you're not buying players, you're buying runs. And how do you buy runs? You get guys who get on base, and the only way you get on base is if you can hit or draw walks.
But I mean, it's the Moneyball philosophy. But I don't think you can, it's kind of hard to apply it to say Aaron Judge is the Moneyball philosophy. You can't really say a super. That was the whole point, is that they were going after guys that weren't stars.
Yes, in the aggregate. Yeah. No, I know what you mean. But no, when I was talking about Cal Raleigh, when I say I think it's a lock, I would put my money on him being a Hall of Famer. I do not think he's going to fizzle out. I think he has the work ethic and the desire to not let his career fizzle out.
It's not that I don't think he's going to. It's not that I think he's going to fizzle out.
Yeah.
How. It's kind of like what
you
exactly. Can he replicate that? Can he replicate this season? Can you really induct someone into the Hall of Fame off of one good season? Can you? Is that?
So and the problem too is
you can if they play for 20 years and have great counting stats.
No,
that's true.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I specified and I'm not saying he's only had one good year, but he's had 1 year as the best catcher in baseball.
Yeah.
The weird thing about the Hall of Fame is you'll get players who they played for 20 years, they had 2 good seasons, 1 MVP, but they have because they played for so long, they have all these stats, and so they get in. And there's other guys who's like Josh Hamilton. He was maybe the best player I ever saw as a kid, but he only played for 6 years, so he'll never be in the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
So you never know.
Yeah.
I mean, we could throw around names all day, like Logan Webb, Hall of Famer. We don't know.
Tim
Lincecum, Hall of Famer.
He should be he only played for how many years?
I know.
That's the problem. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Yes.
Mad Bum, definitely.
Yeah. Bad. Yeah.
Mad Bum.
Bumgarner.
Madison Bumgarner is definitely a Hall of Famer.
Yes.
He is the greatest postseason pitcher we've ever seen.
Yeah.
I think on the postseason alone, he should probably.
On the postseason alone, he was also just a great pitcher.
Yeah.
Around the clock.
Yeah. The other issue with Cal
he's also the highest paid Diamondback, and he was DFA'd back in whatever.
Yeah. The issue with Cal that I was also listening to the Marine Lair podcast, and they mentioned this, is what's going to happen is because, yes, he doesn't really get hurt, again, knock on wood, but what will happen, most likely, probably next year, and the year after that, and the year after that, and the year after that, is you're going to see his time in games played as a catcher drop.
Absolutely, and I'm, as a Giants fan, saw the same thing with Buster Posey.
Yep, precisely.
You saw the same thing with Buster Posey. Buster Posey, I mean, he only played for 10 seasons. 11. Because
Yeah.
his rookie year was the 2010 World Series.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he retired after the 2021 season. After we, anyway.
Yeah.
Lamont,
Yeah.
Anyway, but like Buster Posey only played 10 seasons. Is he a Hall of Famer? I think so.
I think he'll get some votes for sure.
I will he? It's not going to be unanimous, obviously, but I think that he did enough for the league. And you know what? I'm going to say it right now. He might even get in for the stuff that he did as president of baseball operations. Is that part of it? Like front office stuff.
You can.
I feel like that should be in consideration because look at what he did in just 1 year.
Yeah.
You know, obviously we didn't get to. We were just out of the wild card. You know, but we had a very hopeful season. We started the season
close to getting the 82 wins you need.
We started the season so well. We had a huge slump in the middle in the summer.
Got Devers.
We got Devers. I mean, we're a front runner to get Kyle Tucker.
Man, yeah, you could.
That'd be a big.
I think from what I'm saying, we're a top 3 player.
That'd be a big deal
For Kyle Tucker, which would fill a big.
I want the Mariners to get Kyle Tucker.
Yeah, but
you could plop him at. He's a third baseman, isn't he?
No.
Where's he play?
Right field.
That makes sense. Never mind then. I was thinking of Alex Bregman. That's who I was thinking of.
So
we can get Bregman for third base.
The idea for the Giants is if we sign Kyle Tucker, we have Tucker in right,
Yes.
Lee in center, Elliot Ramos in left.
Lee needs to get consistent.
Lee had you got to remember he was hurt for the entire of the season before, so this was his first full season.
Yes,
A talented guy.
Absolutely, and I think he showed it. I think he has a lot of room to grow.
Yeah.
Which is very hopeful. And then you got first base. You got Devers and Dom Smith kind of split, and I don't know if we're gonna keep Dom Smith.
That rookie guy, right? What's his name? He's one of your prospects.
Oh,
for first base.
Bryce Eldridge. Duh. Yeah, Bryce Eldridge will be at first.
Yeah.
Bryce Eldridge at first. I don't know if we'll play Casey Smith at second.
I think you guys need a second baseman.
We do need a second baseman. Shortstop we're good with Willie. Third we're good with Matt Chapman. DH. We got Raffy, and catcher we got Bailey.
Yeah, really, go get a right fielder and a second baseman. You guys
right fielder, and then we need relief pitching.
Yeah,
losing Duvall.
Yeah,
I was a big Duvall guy, but I think Buster Posey made some really really good moves.
Yeah.
Getting Drew Gilbert from the Mets got us our coach.
Yeah,
we wouldn't have Tony if it wasn't for Drew.
Yeah,
and. That's another thing. I want to hear your guys' opinions on this. First manager to go straight from college to pro baseball manager.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Who's
Tony?
that?
Tony V.
For the Giants, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
We hired him from Tennessee.
Yeah.
Obviously, we don't know how it's going to work in the big leagues.
No.
But I will just point to the NFL. It tends to not work.
True.
Although Jim Harbaugh worked pretty well, and he's now done it twice from college to the pro, and both times it's worked. But that's Jim Harbaugh. Most guys who come from college to the pros in the NFL fail.
Completely
but who
different
knows?
Sport, though.
It's a very different sport, so you don't know.
The thing is that this is the first time this has happened.
Right.
And, who was it? Was it Joe Madden who said it was an insult to the game?
Oh, to have guys go from college straight
to have the manager go straight, and then
crazy.
And then Tony V was like, "Well, that sucks because I was going to reach out to him and ask him for advice."
Nice.
Wow.
But we have a new manager.
Yeah.
We have the opportunity. Our lineup on paper is really good.
Mm-hmm.
In even our bench, we'll have Drew Gilbert on the bench. We'll have Luis Matos on the bench, who's still a top prospect, and he was a top prospect and is now getting his props.
What are you guys gonna do about Luciano? What do you think? Is he gonna get another chance?
I don't think so.
30 games and he sucked, and now they won't even give him another chance.
I don't know if Marco Luciano's gonna get another. Is he?
Gotta trade him at some point.
Who did we trade to the Astros? Who am I thinking of? We traded one.
I know
of
who
our
you're
prospects.
talking. Yeah.
I'm totally
at the trade deadline this year.
No, it was last year.
Last year.
I'm totally blanking. But it was another.
Astros.
It was one of those young prospects. Also, we have a good pipeline.
Yes.
Obviously it's not the Mariners. The Mariners have
probably the best
stacked pipeline.
Yep.
But the Giants have a really good farm system right now.
Yeah.
And so I'm very hopeful. If we can make some moves in the offseason, if we can get Kyle Tucker, huge. If we can acquire some arms for our bullpen in relief, our rotation doesn't look bad. If Justin Verlander, it took him till the end of the season to really start get going. If he can,
Gotta bring him back.
because we have to.
Yeah.
Because
He
I'll
was the
admit.
best pitcher in San Francisco for the August-September down the stretch. He was better than Robbie Ray and better than Webb.
Well, most people are better than Robbie Ray, not going to lie.
Robbie Ray
had a
played
season.
really
He had a
good this season.
this year.
Not with the Mariners. Not against
That's
the
why I said
Astros in the postseason.
this season.
This season.
It was
Yeah,
probably.
no,
It was
if
probably.
I'm-
I mean,
if
once
I'm
he got to the
Giants-
Giants, he was happy.
If I'm
So
Buster Posey, I'm saying give Kyle Tucker whatever he wants, and then go get Jorge Polanco to play second base, and
Nice.
we're set.
I agree. I think the biggest difference between this year and last year is that our manager was allowed to set our rosters.
Yeah.
Before that, it was why am I even blanking on his name? I've been talking so much crap about him. I almost said Zoran. I've been thinking about politics too much. Mamdani. No, it was. But our president of baseball operations at the time, Farhan.
There you go.
Farhan.
I see the jump, yes.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Well, his last name, it starts with a Z. So.
Yeah.
Farhan would set the lineups, and it was completely on statistics. It wasn't
Yeah.
on feeling. It wasn't on how people are playing. It was purely a statistical
It was
lineup.
the Moneyball approach. Just does he get on base?
It was the Moneyball approach, but we didn't win.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
It worked in 2021.
That was different. That wasn't even because of Farhan. That was just a. I don't even know what
What
happened.
happened? 107 wins. It's like
107? Was it
was it
107?
100?
I thought it was like 102.
you took all the wins from the last 5 years, and there's like, okay, we're gonna win all of them in 2021.
Yeah.
Imagine you spread those wins out over the last 4 years. I mean, think of how good you'd be.
Imagine.
If only.
Anyway, that's enough for Giants talk.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but yeah, that's gonna do it for baseball. We spent a lot of time talking about this. We're gonna talk about Seahawks coming up next. Both Levi and Matti are staying up in the booth. We'll talk a little Hawks. They're playing against the Rams tomorrow. I think it's an early morning game. I'm pretty sure for Sunday. I don't think they're a Sunday night game.
Yeah.
I think they might be.
They're at 1 p.m.
1 p.m. There you go. So the midday game. So we'll talk a little bit Hawks coming up here in a bit. Again, you're listening to Slice of Seattle on KUGR, Cougar College Radio. Please stick around. We will be right back.
On KUGR, Cougar College Radio.
Welcome back to Slice of Seattle on KUGR, Cougar College Radio. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I lied to you all. I pulled the wool over your eyes. Levi Coovert is no longer in the booth with us. He had to.
I'm Levi.
What? No way. No. Unfortunately, Levi had to dip out. He had something he had to go to, so it's just me and Matti up in the booth to do our last segment of the day. We're going to be talking some Hawks. Look, I think right now, in a couple of different power rankings, we are the number one team in the entire NFL.
Sure.
What do you mean, sure?
No. I'm agreeing, yeah.
I don't. Do I think that we deserve to be number one in the entire NFL? Probably not. I think they're probably because here's the thing. Love the Hawks. Love that we have. I can't remember what our record is right now, but we've been just putting
7-2, I think.
7-2. We have been just absolutely steamrolling some teams. We steamrolled the Commanders. We steamrolled the Cardinals, which is that's like a.
You know who you haven't steamrolled?
Who?
The Niners. Anyway, continue.
Look, we play you guys last game of the season.
I know.
so
It's so weird. They have us first and last game.
we are going to get our revenge game against you guys.
Oh, yeah, against our practice squad.
Pretty much. You guys got Brock Purdy back, though, so...
We do. We'll talk about that in a sec.
We'll talk about that in just a little bit. But I think the problem with the Seahawks is that we have yet to really play and or beat a really good team. The best team we probably played this year was the Bucks, and we still lost them, but we lost by a close margin. That's the thing.
Sure.
I don't think anybody else on our schedule besides the Rams are really a team where I'm like, holy cow, that's going to be a tough matchup, besides the Rams. No offense to the 49ers at the end of the year, but we'll probably beat you guys. Hopefully.
We'll see.
But knowing you
It
guys...
depends on what our team looks like.
You guys have some kind of black magic going on where you just find ways to win games, and it makes zero sense.
My thing is that, especially after this Rams game, people are like, oh, Rams are bad, oh. Do we not remember... Are we forgetting that, like, a month or two ago, the Niners beat the Rams with Mac Jones, with our hurt team. Like, I think the biggest thing is the defensive injuries for us. Offense, I think, I'm not saying we're good, but like we've been able to get by. We've only lost 3 games. Like,
somehow
we're still contenders. For a playoff spot.
Logic would say you guys should not have only lost 3 games.
No.
And you got George Kittle back.
George Kittle's back.
CMC,
Ricky Pearsall's back.
Yes. You got you got Brock Purdy. Yeah. So you guys are in a really good spot, unfortunately.
Here's my optimism. One, the 1-2 punch, especially after the last 2 weeks,
Yeah.
the 1-2 punch on McCaffrey and Robinson.
Yes.
They're finally giving Brian Robinson touches. They're not putting everything on McCaffrey.
Yep.
Now that and that's the thing that I don't understand is that even before we got Brian Robinson, even when it was Isaac Garendo, even when it was J.P. Mason, when they got touches, those guys were good for us.
Yeah.
Like, we just also had Christian McCaffrey. And when he got hurt, those guys stepped in, and they were still really, really good running backs. Like,
Yeah.
And then the Niners have a weird way of making things work when they shouldn't. Mm-hmm. This year, at least.
Yes.
We're talking about it's really hard to gauge, how good the Niners are because last year, I mean, people are forgetting how injured we were last year too. Mm-hmm. It's been, and even then there were so many games that we could have won that we didn't. That were 1-score games. Mm-hmm. Now we got rid of Jake Moody and we bring in Eddie Pinheiro, and that has a huge. We were talking about Jack Stevens earlier, who's
For the Cougs.
very, very consistent field goal kicker. The Oregon State game. Completely out
Definitely
of his
a fluke.
Completely out of his ordinary.
Yes.
The Niners, you were talking about Mac Jones and how maybe the Niners should keep Mac Jones. No, because Mac Jones has always known what the situation was.
Yes.
And that's something that's been stressed by the 49ers is that it was never a transfer of power. It was Mac Jones getting his opportunity, and that's why he went to San Francisco.
Yeah.
The whole reason he saw what Sam Darnold did. He saw that everybody wanted the Niners sloppy seconds.
Yes.
You guys wouldn't be in the position you were if it wasn't for us. But you'd still have Geno.
We still have Geno, which
And you would not be okay. Now that Geno's gone, can we just can we finally admit that he was not a good quarterback?
he was not good. So here's the thing with Geno that bugs me.
Because
is
Seahawks fans were glazing him like he was the second coming of Christ.
He's not. So here's the problem with Geno.
He was a 10-year backup. I'm sorry.
He was a 10-year backup. Don't get me wrong. He had a good year with us last year, especially towards the end. I think there was a bit of a push to try and maybe get to the postseason, and we ended up not making it. But in the offseason, what I love? I love the guys like Tyler Lockett who are really, really good, and they know they can get paid a lot, but they tell the team, they're like, hey, I'm willing to get paid less. I'm willing for you to undervalue me so you can use that money to go get other players to make this team better. And
the Niners haven't quite done that undervalue, but what we've been doing a lot is contract restructuring.
Yes.
So, and that's why we've been able to keep Kittle for so long. That's why he's sacrificed so much money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's what bugged me about Geno is in the offseason, we made him an offer, and he's like, I'm worth more than that. I hate it when guys do that because here's the thing. You are making an insane amount of money.
Yeah.
And granted, your career could always end, and then you aren't able to play football again.
I mean, hell, Geno's career, quote unquote, should have
ended a while ago.
Ended 10 years ago.
Yes, precisely.
Arguably.
Yeah. Yes. But you're getting paid a lot of money. You've been paid a lot of money. That's why
we're forgetting Geno Smith was Tavon Austin's high school or college quarterback.
Yeah.
It's
so the thing that it really irks me when players do that. I love it when the Tyler Lockett's of the world are like, hey, I believe Tom Brady did the same thing. I believe Tom Brady would take pay cuts to get other players to get the Edelmans and the Gronks because he understood. Yeah, I can get paid a lot of money for this, but it doesn't mean anything if I'm throwing to no names.
He's also making so much money off the field that I don't think it mattered what he got
Precisely.
paid.
Yes, exactly. That's the Tom Brady specific situation. But with the Genos of the world, it bugs me because then you go to the Raiders, where I think he did get paid a little bit more of what he was saying he was worth.
Yeah.
And now they are awful. They're not that. They're
the Raiders.
They're the Raiders. They are still the Raiders. Which is brutal. And that's why I like Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's that type of guy who I don't necessarily know if he took a pay cut. I don't know. I think we paid him.
Well, I don't think he took a pay cut.
Yeah, but still, he's just getting it done. People kept saying he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
No.
After these past couple games, I wouldn't say that. I would say he's got just good players to throw to right now, and mainly because he's got
check down Merchant.
He's just got. Jackson
he just has so many. He just has so many weapons. He's not him. He's not a good quarterback.
No, I would.
Obviously, I don't believe that, but that's the rhetoric that they've been using.
Yeah,
for Brock Purdy.
But here's the thing: with the Seahawks, is coming into this year, I was saying it a lot in the preseason and the very early part of the season. Everybody was kind of underestimating the Seahawks. Everyone was just like, "Who's your guys' quarterback? It's Sam Darnold. You guys are going to be awful." And again, I don't think Sam Darnold's the best quarterback in the world, but I think he deserves a lot more respect because
Absolutely.
I think he is not maybe a system quarterback, but I would say
I don't think
good.
I don't think he's a system quarterback because I don't think the Seahawks really have that type of offense where you could plug anyone in and be good.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he's a good quarterback. He got drafted by the Jets.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry, like just like I think Justin Fields is a great athlete and he could be a great quarterback.
Yes.
He plays for the Jets.
Yes. Unfortunately,
You know,
you're stuck in purgatory.
he didn't play great for the Steelers. He didn't play great, for the Bears. There's a reason that he's. But then again, you saw Geno bounce. You saw Geno get punched in the locker room when he was with the Jets. Geno's another Jet. Like,
Yes.
what's up with you guin hiring Jets quarterbacks?
We used to like to cherry pick them. Man.
Yeah, I guess so.
We turned them into MVP contenders. Well, actually,
Well.
Sam Darnold's not an MVP contender, but I would
Neither was
say,
Geno.
But you see, a lot of people have been floating around whether or not JSN should be an MVP contender, and we were talking about it off air that you don't think he should be an MVP contender. You think he should be?
I think he'll be a contender.
Yes.
I don't think he's going to win the MVP.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a quarterback award, unfortunately. Should it be?
Yeah.
Probably not. I don't think so. It should be given to the most valuable player of the league. But it is a quarterback award. It is a popularity award.
Yes. Yes.
And
yes.
that's why, speaking as someone who, what was it? The year we went to the Super Bowl, so 23. 2023, Christian McCaffrey should have been the MVP. But he was the offensive player of the year, which I'm okay with.
Yes. That's the problem. It's the same thing with like just trying to discuss who the GOAT is in football.
Yeah.
A lot of people will always say QBs because they are just involved in offensive plays all the time. That's the problem.
People talk about the GOAT for in football as QB because it's Tom Brady.
That's true.
I'm sure that if there was a wide receiver who was consistently putting up 1,500-yard seasons, who had 7 Super Bowl rings because of him, not just because he was there, but because of him.
Yes.
I think we'd have a conversation that receiver would be a GOAT conversation.
Yeah.
Tom Brady was just such a anomaly. And not equating Brock Purdy to him, but coming from the 6th round, coming from Drew Bledsoe. Shout out Drew Bledsoe.
Yep. He's basically everyone should just thank the Cougs for
pretty much. Yeah, the Cougs pretty much contributed to every success in some way.
Yeah, including Tom Brady's. Yeah, if Bledsoe didn't get hurt, it wouldn't be Tom Brady.
And if Bledsoe hadn't gone to Wazoo, he might have not gotten. No, I'm playing.
Exactly.
No, we were good when he was here.
Yeah.
But I think football specific, the GOAT conversation for Tom Brady is just because he's quite literally the most dominant player we've ever seen for a consistent amount of time.
Yeah.
He did it for, what was it, 15 years in New England?
Yeah.
And then the moment he left, goes and wins another Super Bowl.
With Tampa.
It's that kind of things there really is no debate.
Yes.
Because it's so... Now, basketball, that's where you're like, who's the GOAT?
Yes.
You got your LeBron guys, you got your Jordan guys, you got your Kobe guys, you got your Magic guys, you got your Kareem guys. Like, there's so many, just because, basketball itself, because there's less players on the court than in football, it's easier to have more people kind of perform better, I guess you'd say. Yeah. With football, it's very, quarterback is the end all, is the beginning and the end of everything.
Yes.
Basketball, that's not the case. There's so many things that contribute to GOAT status in basketball. You go clutch, you could go stats, you could go longevity of career, you could go impact to the culture of the game. That's what then that's where people bring in like Kobe. Because was Kobe the best player we've ever seen in the NBA? Probably not. He's top 5, maybe top 3.
Good competitor too. Good mindset.
Absolutely, he changed the way that people thought about the game. The NBA as we know it today wouldn't be as we know it if it wasn't for Kobe.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the things that people look up to LeBron, people look up to Jordan. I could be wrong. I don't think anyone was really going, Jordan. People said Jordan, but like LeBron, no, he was just the greatest player of the modern day.
Yes.
No one is like they look up to him, but no one's trying to replicate his play style because he's such an athletic freak.
Yes.
Kobe's thing was his mindset, was how he prepared, how he trained, was how he lived, and it's the same thing with Tom Brady, the TB12 thing. It's how he lives, it's how he trains, it's how he prepares. That has such a huge impact in it, and just the way that it was, I guess, like shown in the media, and the way that the amount of attention that the Mamba mentality got.
Mamba mentality.
And just the Mamba mentality and what he did for the game puts him in that GOAT conversation.
Yes.
So it's the GOAT conversation depends, and I don't even know how we got here, but we're going back to
I
football.
know exactly. Yeah.
Like JSN, I think he absolutely is, if not the best, a top 3 receiver in the league, and I couldn't give you 2 receivers better than him right now.
I was about to say, whenever people keep saying like, yeah, he's a top 3 receiver in the league, I always want to just like slap him in the face. I'm just like,
And I can't.
he is the best.
I can't. Just as a Niners fan, I can't straight up go Jackson Smith-Njigba is the best receiver in the league right now. And I know you're going to clip it and post that, and you're going to clip out the I can't say part. But as a Niners fan, I can't say that. But yeah, I 100% think he's the best receiver in the league right now.
Yeah.
You know, I think that it would be insanely biased and dishonest to say otherwise. Not MVP.
I think the only thing that would be maybe helping his MVP candidacy is if you look at like the yards. He's got 1,000 yards, and then second place is Cooper Kupp with like 300. He's got 3 times as many yards. And granted, he is just like our like wide receiver one. Like we force feed him the ball.
Yeah.
If you watch any Seahawks game, it's like we'll hand the ball off to.
I don't, for the record.
Yeah. Like, we'll hand the ball off to Kenneth Walker. You know,
that's another thing we need to talk about.
Yes, we'll talk. We'll get that in just a second.
Okay.
But then, any time it's thrown in the air, it's literally like it'll just be like takes a snap, drops back, airs it out. Jackson Smith-Njigba.
I mean, it's the same thing that they did with DK not last year, because DK had a down season last year.
Last year was not good,
but
and the year before that was not good either.
But he was still the guy they were forcing the ball to.
You just force feed him the ball, and it works because like JSN he's making just CBs look silly.
Yeah,
he gets into he is fun to watch. That's the thing where I'd be like. Out of every single player on the Seahawks offensively, right? Because again, like I mentioned, Sam Darnold isn't really he's good, but he's not like
he's a solid quarterback.
You know,
he's a top 15 quarterback.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp is an older veteran that has a few more miles left in the tank. Rashid Shaheed is like our deep threat that just like sprint downfield and will air ball out to you. But nobody else on that team, and even Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet, there's a reason why it's a tandem. It's not one guy. It's not there. We don't have a Saquon.
Right.
So it's like
or a CMC.
CMC
is better than Saquon.
I don't know, Jim.
I'll take it to the bank.
I don't know, Jim. But anyway, there's no other offensive player on our roster.
Well, Chris, quite honestly,
there's no other offensive player on our team that is as dominant as he is. So when you talk about most valuable,
sure,
I think you take away JSN and you swap him out for I'm trying to think who's a mid-level receiver, or just put a mid-level receiver in his place.
Just put DK back in there.
Just put DK back in there. What I think we are not.
The Seahawks probably have 2 more losses than they do right now.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
I 100% understand your point, and I hear your point. It's not going to happen because the MVP is a quarterback award.
Is a quarterback award.
That's why offensive player of the year. I think absolutely he has the case for it.
Most likely.
100% he has a case for offensive player of the year.
No.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
MVP, whether you think that it's right or wrong, I do think the quarterback is the most important position on the field.
Yeah, actually, you're right.
Everything starts with the quarterback.
It's like a catcher in baseball.
100%.
They control it. They're the heart of everything.
It's quite. I think that when you're thinking about most valuable players, and you're thinking about the league, obviously Obviously, JSN is the most valuable player on the Seahawks. No one's saying otherwise.
Yes. Yeah.
No one's contesting that. But when you're looking at the entire league, quarterback play is the most important thing. You know, the first thing people look for when they're rebuilding is their young quarterback. Is their quarterback the guy who's going to lead them?
Yep.
You know, every other position is important, if not just as important.
Yep.
But when it comes to most valuable to the team, the quarterback is that guy.
Yeah.
He's throwing the ball. He's handing it off. You know, there's so much that could go wrong before he even gets the ball out of his hand.
The difference between having a Josh Allen versus a Geno Smith on your team.
It's huge.
Massive.
But if you have a Josh Allen and then you have we could even say Tyler Lockett now.
Yeah.
Josh Allen is still getting him the ball.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
I think that people are so quick to decredit just because it's been Mahomes Allen, Lamar Allen.
Yeah.
Mahomes Allen. You know, I think we're just living in an era where we have 3 of the greatest quarterbacks we've seen.
Yes.
You know, Mahomes, obviously, it's been a little bit of a decline over the last 2 years.
Yes.
But he's still won 3 Super Bowls.
He's unfortunately
He's still one of the greatest talents we've seen in modern era.
not the GOAT, unfortunately.
No. That's why I said one of the greatest.
Yes, exactly.
You know,
yeah.
it's hard to, you can talk about stats, but when you have a guy winning Super Bowls, it's hard to argue with because that's the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
You know, you have Lamar. You saw, excuse me, sorry. You saw exactly what happened the moment Lamar got hurt. The Ravens started 1-5. Since he's been back, they've won 4 straight.
Yes.
You know,
exactly. The difference is astounding.
That's valuable.
Yes.
That's most valuable.
Yes.
When a team can't play without, like I feel like that says something massive, especially for a team that honestly could still make the playoffs, and with a healthy Lamar could go far in the playoffs.
100%. Yeah.
So, while Jackson Smith-Njigba is the greatest wide receiver in the league right now this season, he's not going to win the MVP. He's going to get Offensive Player of the Year unless someone else has a breakout and takes it from him. It's his award to win.
Yes. No, I 100% agree with you. Unfortunately, the MVP is a quarterback-heavy award. Offensive Player of the Year, definitely. I think
Also, my thing is that if they're going to give an MVP to a non-quarterback player, it's going to be a running back before it's a wide receiver.
Probably.
Arguably, running back is a harder position than wide receiver.
You're just the more physical punishments.
Exactly, and if you're playing at a level that you're being considered for an MVP at the running back position, that's just that means that you're one of the greatest running backs of all time.
Pretty much.
You know,
Yeah.
like LaDainian Tomlinson had a 2,000 yard rush, like a 2,000 yard season. Did he win MVP?
No. Yeah. No, precisely. Matti, we are
Yeah.
way over our time. You're normally supposed to be out of the studio by 1, and it is 1:52 right now.
Hey, we just have such a great time.
I know. I was going to say, it's...
Also, the Seahawks need to give Kenneth Walker the ball more. We don't have to go into a whole debate about it, but he needs the ball more on the goal line. I'm sorry.
It's absolutely brutal. We get within 5 yards, and we're just like, you know who we want to put in right now? Zach
Charbonnet, UCLA legend.
Precisely. I mean, Charbonnet is just Mike McDonald's guy, apparently, so... But no, that's going to do it for the Seahawks segment. Matti, thank you so much for being up in the booth today.
Yeah, man, of course.
Yeah.
I'm
looking forward to the Cougs playing today, the Seahawks playing tomorrow, the 49ers also playing tomorrow against the Cardinals.
Yeah, we're going to take on the Cardinals.
Yep. I think you guys will still win that game, but like...
Yeah, I mean, it's a better chance of winning this game than any other game we've played.
Yeah.
Since Purdy and everybody else is getting hurt. This is going to be the first time we see the Niners with some semblance of their... old selves. The offense will be good. The defense, we'll see.
Yeah.
You know, we had so many injuries on defense that, you know, honestly, when other teams in the NFC West are talking smack, it's kind of hard to take them seriously.
Yeah.
Because it's like, but like you're playing the practice squad.
Yeah.
Like you're like our defense is completely decimated, and that's something we got to figure out because it was 2021 last year and this year. Injuries have just absolutely ruined a team that honestly could be Super Bowl contenders. Could be.
Yeah. No, 100%.
In the NFC.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, losing Michael Williams, or not Michael Williams. I'm totally blanking.
Yeah.
Losing our defensive line guys,
Yes.
losing Bosa,
Yes.
losing Fred, losing everybody, and then losing guys in the offseason. It's completely decimated our defense, and we've still found a way to be over 500 and still in contention and only a game back in the NFC West.
Yeah.
It took the Niners' entire defense getting hurt for the Seahawks to take first place and for the Rams to take first place. We still have the tiebreaker over everybody else except for the Rams, and the Rams we split the series.
Yes.
So we're still in a position to finish well if we can get back to a semi-healthy state.
Yeah.
Anyway,
the NFC is the NFC Wild West is what people like to say. Right now, it is kind of anyone's game. Not gonna lie, unless you're the Cardinals.
Unless you're the Cardinals,
and
everybody else is, everybody's counting the Niners out. Don't be surprised if they do something big. Don't be surprised if they're able to, if we beat the Cardinals tomorrow and we beat the Seahawks. Worst case scenario, we're second in the NFC West.
Yeah, which is still pretty good.
That's still playoff worthy. Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, no. That's going to do it for this episode, guys. Thank you guys so much for listening. Please subscribe to the Instagram. Please subscribe to the YouTube. I think I'm at 19 subscribers right now.
We're getting up there. Almost 20. Get us to 20.
Let's shoot for 20, guys. Let's get to 20 subscribers. Listener, if you're out there, I just need you to subscribe.
You're the one.
You're the one. You can make history by being the 20th subscriber in the Slice of Seattle podcast history. But Matti, thank you again for being on the podcast today.
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at sar.wazoo. You can find me if you go to the Field Rush fieldrush.com. I'm a sports writer for the Field Rush website, an intern for them also. If you want to hop in the broadcast channel on the Field Rush, it's a fun time. We have a lot of fun talking college sports. So, check it out.
Yeah, no, Matti's got a lot of connections, especially with Wazoo athletics and just athletics in general. So he's kind of the guy I talk to. You were kind of helping me break that Ann McCoy story as well back on Wednesday. So
that was a fun one.
Yeah, I love having you in the booth. It's great to talk both baseball,
love being
football
here.
with you, college. Dude, it's always great when you're up here.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to do it for the episode, everybody. Thank you guys so much for listening. Remember, it is a great day to have a great day. And go Cougs.
Go Cougs.